Hi, and welcome to whatever this channel is about. So the other day I had a dream, and okay, by other day I mean like 5 months ago. So it was a while ago, but this has been in my notes of things I want to talk about just because it had some interesting ideas. And the dream was about privatizing bathrooms. Now I'm not saying this is something we should do. That was the idea behind the dream, is that all bathrooms were privatized. If you wanted to use a bathroom, you needed to have a special license for using the bathroom in your house and a different license for using a bathroom outside of your house. You were still responsible for any kind of maintenance or like the repair, upkeep, restocking of the bathrooms in your house. So it's not that someone else owned it, they just licensed your ability to use it. And then you had to pay money for like how many times a week. You had to prepay how many times a week you're going to use the restroom. So if you use more than that, you get a surcharge. And extra DLC type stuff, like if you're going to use the mirror or take a shower, you just spend money to be able to get the privilege to do that. And then, as I mentioned, if you want to use a restroom outside of your house, then you'd have to find a place where the restroom was in network to your license. So you'd only visit certain stores or restaurants. And then you only had a certain amount of times you could do that as well. I know this is a totally dystopian and crazy idea. I get it. But at the same time, is it? Because if you were in a world in which this was commonplace, you wouldn't even notice it. And you can even actually look at the world we're in right now and see some of these practices. Now, I am all for taxes. I know this is a weird segue, or not really. But I could see someone who buys a house and then has to pay money regularly to keep the house could be considered a similar situation. Now, it's not. And the main reason is because in the situation I gave, the person who was leasing the use of the bathroom didn't actually have any upkeep. They didn't have any special thing they did on their end. It was all the user who had to do all that kind of stuff. There was no associated facilities, no associated services that warranted the license. But in the case of like a house ownership, then yes, there is associated services warrant, like road work, sewage. I know you pay separately for those things, but fire department, they're just municipal facilities that warrant the taxes for home ownership. So these are the services that the taxes feed into. So again, it's not the same situation. So it's in computer programs in which you pay down a fee and then you pay down a monthly fee to keep using the computer program that you already paid a fee to get. Now, most of those have an additional service, like servers or programs that you run. You run it on a different program, on a different machine that's owned by someone else. So there's justification to having this additional fee, but there's a lot in which that isn't true. There's nothing provided by the person except the continual use of a program that you've already paid for. And that is, I find, the closest analogy to this weird kind of idea. But we don't find that weird. As a dystopian future, I hope not to see, but I can see it, something that could happen. And then, yeah. Anyway, that's where my weird mind is today. Let me know what your thoughts are, or if you can think of other examples that meet the criteria of where you're licensing something, but you're not actually gaining any additional services for the license, and it could have all just been covered with the original cost. Okay, have a good one.